To have a suitcase with perhaps a body inside is a little out of the ordinary.
Tonight on KGW News, neighbors in a small community left stunned as authorities investigate a gruesome murder. Also tonight, a dire financial crisis and ultimatum from Multnomah County that seemed to catch the governor off guard. Plus,
this is not what our members want, but they didn't have physical evidence.
Why the thousands of nurses who voted down the first agreement with Providence might have helped pave the way for a new one. Then, how Oregon's Attorney General is looking into more cases of non-citizens who voted. And call it Friday Night Hoops, the Extra Games edition, as we chase all the action on the court. Hey, Orlando. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. We begin at 11 with the grisly murder of an 80-year-old woman and the suspect, who is now behind bars. Alma McCarty went to Sauvie Island today and talked to neighbors near where authorities say they found the victim's body. Alma?
David, this started as a suspicious death investigation when deputies showed up to the southern part of the island after they got reports about a body found inside of a suitcase on the riverbank.
After years on Sauvie Island, Penny Van Abkoud and Phil Allen generally know what to expect.
It's a pretty pastoral place. I must say that come, the fall, when there's a lot more people on the island, particularly like with the pumpkin patch, and it's hard to get home sometimes.
During the winter, however, it's calm, peaceful, quiet. But a disturbing discovery this week interrupted all that.
We do get a lot of things washed up on the beach, but to have a suitcase with perhaps a body inside is a little out of the ordinary.
Multnomah County deputies responded Monday afternoon to these reports on Northwest Gillahan Road, at the time calling it a suspicious death.
It was our understanding that someone connected with some work that was being done on the house had looked out from a deck and had saw the suitcase on the beach and had gone down to investigate.
The medical examiner ruled the death a homicide, and on Thursday, investigators arrested 54-year-old Michael Moody in St. John's for the murder of 80-year-old Judy Hurley. The sheriff's office released this mugshot of the suspect from 2020. Moody's first court appearance was Friday afternoon. Neighbors like Penny and Phil have lingering questions.
How much is it tied into homelessness or, the drug scene, and or mental illness?
I mean, also there's, a lot of crime in Portland, but to find, evidence of it in your backyard, I mean, literally, is kind of a surprise.
The suspect was not granted bail and remains behind bars at the Multnomah County Jail. His next court appearance is set for March 3rd. David?
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate your reporting tonight. Okay, let's look ahead to your weekend forecast now. And while it is relatively calm on this Friday night, heavy rain is inbound along with a weather impact alert for Sunday. Chief Meteorologist Matt Spina tracking the timing and rain totals in your first forecast. Happy Friday, Matt.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it's going to be a soaker, especially Saturday night and Sunday. This moisture all coming from the deep tropics down in the western Pacific, well west of Hawaii. As a matter of fact, this is an atmospheric river taking aim at the northwest. It'll shift south a little bit, but we won't be left without getting a lot of rain. So yes, a weather impact alert mainly for Sunday. We're going to get heavy rain. There'll be ponding of water on roadways. Look out for low-lying intersections that may flood, areas with poor drainage and the like, and make sure you don't drive through any high water. And then in the Coast Range and the Cascades, it will be raining in areas that suffered recent wildfires, the burn scars there that don't have any vegetation. We could get landslides, mudslides, or debris flows with that. Look at these rainfall totals as we go through the weekend. 2-3 inches in the valleys. We may double these amounts in the Coast Range and in the Cascades. So it is going to be a lot of water. Good news is right now up in the Cascades, it is snowing at Timberline, 33 degrees, but it's snowing. That'll be changing as the snow level rises this weekend. So little to no rain until tomorrow evening. I think we'll have a lot of dry time during the day on Saturday. Then the heaviest rain will be Sunday and Sunday night. And again, that potential for urban and small stream flooding. We'll keep an eye on the rivers right through the weekend. David?
All right. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you in a few. After 6 weeks on strike, thousands of nurses at 8 Providence hospitals across Oregon have reached a tentative deal again. That's after nurses overwhelmingly rejected the first one. A member of the bargaining unit at Providence Milwaukee says this contract gives workers more incentive to vote yes and get back to work.
I think that after we voted down the last tentative agreement, you have us as bargaining team members telling them in a room, this is not what our members want, but they didn't have physical evidence of them saying that. That's just the bargaining team. And so voting down the last tentative agreement really showed.
The deal includes pay raises ranging from 20 to 42% over the course of the contract, 16 to 22% right away. They'll also get retroactive pay and a ratification bonus, plus provisions around staffing levels. The union says they will vote this weekend, and if approved, workers could return as soon as Wednesday. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield says the state is investigating what appears to be 3 cases of non-citizens who may have voted. The AG did not specify which election or elections this involves or where those ballots were cast. Last year, state officials revealed a data error in a DMV system that allowed more than 1,000 non-citizens to register to vote in Oregon. In the Lentz neighborhood, police are treating the death of a man found inside a travel trailer last night as a homicide. Officers say they responded to Southeast 84th and Inslee around 9 following paramedics. Authorities are calling the circumstances of his death suspicious. So far, no word on any suspects. And a Central Oregon woman and her parents wanted in connection with a child abuse case are now in custody. According to police, they were caught at a hotel in Coos County after a nationwide warrant was issued for their arrest. 33-year-old Sarah Session faces 19 charges, including abuse and attempted murder involving a child under age 10 who was in her care. Her parents also face charges. New tonight, a Vancouver minister has been arrested and charged with assaulting a child. Authorities say 42-year-old Gabriel Hardy runs a home-based church in Hazeldale called Army of the Lord Ministry of Defense. Investigators say the mother told them she wanted Hardy to talk to her child about some recent behavior. Instead, Clark County deputies say Hardy whipped the 6-year-old with a belt, and investigators believe he may have other victims.
Our biggest concern in wanting to put that out was to hopefully make some awareness of this. And if anybody else who's a member of the church or was involved or had their children involved with Mr. Hardy, that would be something we'd be interested in potentially talking with them.
According to police, Hardy admitted to whipping the child, and witnesses told investigators that the suspect supports corporal punishment. In our homeless crisis, Multnomah County is threatening to reduce homeless services if it doesn't get financial help from Metro and the state. The county's facing a budget shortfall of more than $100 million in its homeless services department. And that means cuts could be on the way for things like shelter beds, outreach programs, and rent assistance. County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson now calling on the state and Metro to help fill that gap. Tonight, the governor responding, saying she found out about the request for $55 million within the past 24 hours and now wants clearer answers about the county's decisions and budget before sending any money. We'll keep you posted.